front of the People's Bank building. This is a building that was completed around 1976, and it was a commission by the Bandaranayake government, which was actually a coalition with the Communist Party of that time. So I'm inside the lobby of the People's Bank building. This is the only building, a state-owned building that I know, houses 12 important artworks. What we know is that the leadership at that time, when the bank was built, they commissioned 11 artists, but 12 paintings or artworks to be done on each floor of the lobby of each floor. Every artwork was the same size, they were given the same amount of money, and they all have an ideology. They must have been given some kind of a memo of an ideology of that was to be incorporated in the artwork. Of hard work, this whole idea of this national pride, hard work, and the prosperity that comes from this collective hard work, which is a part of the socialist ideology. So we know that they invited George Keyt, Richard Gabriel. Now these were important artists from the 43rd group, but then there were artists like Senaka Senanayake, who had by that time become quite famous, Ismeth Raheem, who was actually an architect. So it is amazing that the People's Bank, that was a bank meant to be for the people, have had the foresight, the leaders had the foresight to create this unique gallery. This is the Richard Gabriel oil on canvas on the 6th floor of the People's Bank. This painting, you see two beautiful, bountiful trees flanking the scenes, this village scenes. So it's a tableau of village scenes. There's fishing, agriculture, harvesting, construction. This would be like domestic bliss, all in the themes of this, the paintings and works of this building. Females bathing by a water body. All of these scenes are like very typical of Richard Gabriel's paintings. He loved to do, there's many versions of these smaller versions. I am in front of Wimal de Silva's terracotta artwork. This is all done out of terracotta tiles. What we know is that Wimal was from Boralaskamoor. He worked out of Boralaskamoor. What we see here is a lot of human figures in different motion, a lot of hard work, animals in motion, lots of Sri Lankan iconography. This is the flag. There are symbols from their Mbake symbols, traditional a boat. So really this is a masterpiece of terracotta. We know that he did 2 works in this building. We don't know much more about this artist, but he obviously was a master in this field to be invited to do this project.
So I was quite happy because I liked their theme. The theme was prosperity for the nation, and of course I believe that prosperity means a well-fed, happy nation, and the nation is symbolized by its children, and thus children of all communities well-fed and happy. And you can see that each child is holding a kind of fruit. One is a pineapple, one plantains, one a sheaf of paddy. So that represents a happy, prosperous nation with the paddy in the background. So I was inspired by all 3 of the subjects you mentioned. The ethnicity of the children, our ethnic groups are very beautiful, their costume in those days. We had children. On the one hand, the Tamil girl was wearing a davani. That's the davani. And the other one, the upcountry girl, is wearing her lama sari. And one is wearing anklets, and the other one is wearing a contouring plus her waist chain. And the wildflowers, of course, we have the tutrimal and all the various different other wildflowers. They were in my garden. And of course my children. They always were an inspiration to me, and they were always with me when I'm painting, either sometimes disturbing me, but they were always there, and they were also an inspiration.
Well, somewhere in 1975 or 76, Peter Kenneman, he was Member of Parliament and Minister for Housing and Construction, and he sent a request to me asking me whether I would do an artwork at the People's Bank, and he gave me the floor number, and he then wanted me to give also a cost of the artwork. So we had a chat about it, and then subsequently I accepted the assignment. So what I did was I decided to divide the 16 foot by 8 foot into 4 panels, and each panel depicted a certain era. The first one was pre-colonial or Buddhist period. The second one was Portuguese period, and the Portuguese at that time occupied a good part of the maritime provinces, and they completely, in a way, altered the monetary process in the island and produced some very nice gold and silver coins. And the third was the Dutch East India Company. The VOC was the acronym of the company, and they stamped VOC on every one of their coins. And the last part was a post-independent period and symbols for the post-independent period. I decided also to use silver and gold, which was the coins were minted on those metals. So the whole of my project was silver leaf, and it was done with gold leaf, which was very expensive at the time. Very few people even now know that there are such paintings and that they are so valuable, because neither George Keyt or Gabriel have ever done a painting 16 feet long. Most of their paintings have been quite small, 3 feet by 2 feet, or George Keyt did some work for Montreal, but it was not as impressive as this, So very little of the public audiences, spectators have ever seen what is inside the People's Bank, which is a great pity. Few important reasons why: because it represented art in the 1970s, almost 50 years ago. So it's frozen in time, and so it's important at that aspect. The second aspect is no other institution, right, nor commercial, nor private, nor bank has made such an attempt to get a whole range of artists exhibiting in a single building. For that, one must really thank Peter Kenneman and his idea of pushing and tugging at artists to exhibit. I think, considering the artistic value, the financial value, and the role the People's Bank is a state bank, and the role the bank has to play in protecting, they should go ahead and be a fine example of an institute.
George Keyt was at the peak of his career in 1976, and he was one of the most famous of the 43rd group. The color he has used, the red one, is very famous with, obviously is synonymous with communism, and the symmetry in this painting is iconic of the Soviet style of that time. The painting has field animals with the symbolic sickle and shows harvesting and men and women at work. So this painting emphasizes this whole Soviet ethos of rural labor and collective effort, and it is fitting with the ideological context of this, the paintings that in this building. So Senaka Senanayake was in his 20s during the time that he has done this painting in 1976, and he was already a well-known artist by then because he had done many international exhibitions. Today, he's one of the most famous and foremost Sri Lankan artists. This particular painting has, again, the same ideology of the paintings in this building. You see people working hard, plowing a field with tractors, bulls, and manual tools. The circles that he used in this painting is prevalent in many of his artworks at that time, including the one for the Non-Aligned Conference.
දවස්වල සේවය කරේ මහජන බැංකුවේ ප්‍රචාරක දෙපාර්තමේන්තුවේ. එතකොට මේ නව ගොඩනැගිල්ල හදලා නිම කරපු අලුත. නව ගොඩනැගිල්ලට තට්ටු 14ටම මියුරල්ස් කැඳෙව්වා පුවත්පත් හා මාධ්‍ය මගින්. රටේ ප්‍රසිද්ධ චිත්‍ර ශිල්පීන් මියුරල් ඉදිරි සඳහා ඉල්ලුම් කරා. ඒ තෝරගත්ත මියුරල්ස් සියල්ල සවි කරාට පසු එක තට්ටුවක් මේ 7 වෙනි මහල එක මහලක් මේ 7 වෙනි මහල ඉතුරු වෙලා තිබුණා. දැන් මේ මහලට කවුරුත් ඉදිරිපත් වෙලා තිබුණේ නැහැ. එතකොට මහජන බැංකුවේ ප්‍රධාන කාර්යාලයේ තිබුණා කලාකවය කියලා සංවිධානයක්. මහජන බැංකුවේ සේවකයන්ගේ කලාකවය. ඒ කලාකවයේ සභාපති හැටියට හිටියේ නියෝජ්‍ය සමාන්තිකාරී කෙනෙක් වශයෙන් විශ්‍රාම ගිය නිහාල් රංජිත් ජයතිලක කියන මහත්මයා. ඔහු ඇතුළු කලාකවයේ නිලධාරීන් විසින් එවකට මහජන බැංකුවේ සභාපති වශයෙන් සේවය කළ නිස්සංක විජේරත්න මහතා හමු වෙලා ඉල්ලීමක් කරා මේ ස්ටාෆ් එකේ මේ සේවක මණ්ඩලයේ ඉන්න කලාකරුවෙක් විමලරත්න කියලා ඔහුට මේ මහල දෙන්න කියලා. සභාපතිතුමා ඒ ඉල්ලීම පිළි අරගෙන මට මේ මහල කරන්න කියලා කිව්වා. එතෙන්දී මේ මට සිද්ධ වුණා දල සටහනක් ඉදිරිපත් කරන්න මියුරල් එකේ. ඒ දල සටහනේ මම ඉදිරිපත් කළේ නුවර පෙරහැර. මොකද මේක අර දේශීය සංස්කෘතිය පිළිබිඹු කරන නිසා මේකට එන හුඟක් ගනුදෙනු කරවන්නට ඒක ආකර්ෂණීය මේ කියලා හිතලා මම නුවර පෙරහැරේ ආකෘතියක් දල සටහනක් ඉදිරිපත් කරා. මුදල් වශයෙන් රුපියල් 25000ක් ලැබුණා. ගෙදර ඉඳන් කරා මේ විශේෂ නිවාඩුවක් ගත්තේ නැහැ. අන්තිම දවස්වල සති දෙකක් නිවාඩු ගත්තා. සතියන්තේ තමයි හුඟක් කරේ. වැඩ ඇරලා ගිහිල්ලා රෑත් කර රෑ 10 11 වෙනකම්. කළා මාස 3ක් ඇතුළත නිර්මාණය නිම කළා. මගේ මියුරල් එක පමණක් නොව අනිකුත් හැම මියුරල් එකක්ම සංරක්ෂණය කළ යුතුයි. මොකද අනිත් මියුරල්ස් කරලා තියෙන්නේ මටත් වඩා ප්‍රසිද්ධ 43 කණ්ඩායමේ අය ඇතුළත් ප්‍රසිද්ධ චිත්‍ර ශිල්පීන් හා මූර්ති ශිල්පීන්.
I do remember him working on this piece of art because I was very small and it was in the 70s. Basically, I think he did it in between 1975 and 76. So I was very, very young. These are cement blocks which were done on the floor and brought here, and he had to, I think, install this afterwards. He worked on this project at Tulhiriya when he was working at Tulhiriya Textile Corporation. He was the chief designer at that time. I actually remember him doing it there. I was very young at that time, but I do have some memories him working on this, and you know, it was on the floor everywhere, and you know, trying to paint and stick the blocks together. And I guess, you know, it was a big job to bring all these blocks to the bank and, you know, install them here. Yeah, so that's how I remember. But then after some time we did not speak about it that much because he was traveling, and then only when I got back here, like after so many years, only we realized that there was a piece of his art here at People's Bank, and then we came to discover the piece again, once again. I think that he was always inspired by the Sri Lankan culture, Sri Lankan history, legacy, and so he was very much concerned about its people. I think this reflects a lot about, you know, the common man and the workforce and the ordinary man himself. I would say that this is a very significant piece of art that he has done. So the People's Bank being a public bank, I'm very, very honored that this piece is here and that the people of this country can come and see his work, you know. Yeah, so I hope this will be preserved for future generations.
People's Bank is a very unique financial institution. So why I'm telling unique is 7 out of 10 Sri Lankans, they maintain account at People's Bank. So we have been supporting arts and culture right throughout in our 65-year-old history. So we have this very valuable art collection which was in our former head office. So our head office was established in 1977. So at that time the bank got very prominent artists like George Keyt, Senaka Senanayake, Richard Gabriel, Nadine David and Jayantha Premachandra for them to install paintings at People's Bank old head office. So we came to the new head office building in October last year. So these are very valuable paintings where the value cannot be determined easily. So we decided to restore this and to do whatever necessary that has to be done, and to relocate that at our head office so that the general public also can see this and appreciate these national treasures. Each and every artist, there are specialists who are doing these preservations. So we get them to do and analyze and these paintings regularly. And if there is any restoration is required, we will do it without any hesitation, because we are just custodians of these paintings. Our main job is to take this to the future for the future benefit of our People's Bank employees and most importantly the general public.